The fact that I'm growing a human being within myself is the most miraculous thing that I can think of as far as what a human is capable of doing. And I was thinking about this the other day. Obviously, it takes a woman, but it takes a man too. And, you know, the men have the seed, and I wouldn't, you know, be with child right now without my husband. And, when I think about the fact that I have a baby growing inside of me every day, really with little work on my end. Obviously, being pregnant comes with difficulties and changes, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't know the first thing about what it takes to create human life, but it's just by design, which is so fascinating, and it happens every day. And we overlook these little things that are so big. Even just the sun that comes up each day at the same time, and we just run through our days because we're used to it. We're used to things just happening. But when you really slow down and you think about just the functionality of life, it's just forever be fascinating to me, at least. And I when I got my anatomy scan done, an anatomy scan is basically an ultrasound but with much higher tech, so you can really see your baby. They have 2D and sometimes even 3D, and every now and then I just find myself looking at my baby and, just looking at his little feet and his hands, and I'm just really amazed. I don't know. Obviously, I always wanted kids. This definitely was a surprise baby. But, it's just about allowing life to unfold and taking things as they come and trusting that things are happening the way that they're meant to be. So, I'm excited. I'd be lying if I said that I'm not scared, that I don't worry. To be honest, especially at this point in my life, there's a lot of things that aren't settled. There's a lot of things that's in the air, where, not even to say I could be panicking. I'm fine, and then days I just freak out because I'm like having a baby, and there's so many things that aren't in place. But again, I guess, hey, trusting God, right? And keeping the faith, which I feel like at this point in my life, I've had to have faith, but I feel like it's the first time in my life that I've truly had to practice that, because there's a lot of things, again, that's just in the air and that I'm not certain of. And really, I've exhausted pretty much all of my options. I've done the work. I've talked to God. I've waited. I've gone through the storm. I've gone through multiple storms. I've hit rock bottom multiple times, all within the past few years of my life. And it's scary. And you just really, when you go through a lot of things in life, you really start to look for that breakthrough, that opening. And that's definitely where I'm at right now. But again, I think about just the miracle of it all, and I already know that when my baby boy is here, I don't know how I'm gonna take it. It's just already so insane to me. It still doesn't feel real, and I guess, yeah, it's just gonna become real once he's here. And just to be able to lay eyes on him and to touch him and to know where he started. There's just so many synchronicities and mirrors in life. And, That's why we say everything is connected. The fact that a baby can stem from a egg and sperm. Technically, nothing. At least from the human eye's view. Just these cells that come together and create this life, a heart, set of lungs, a brain. I don't know. It's pretty cool. I'm excited to meet my son. I'm about to be a mother. That is insane to me. That is insane to me. At 26. I thought that I'd become a mom later in life. I'm gonna kind of touch on this again. There are a lot of things that I wanted to be in place. But I have faith that at some point I'll be able to really share my testimony and to really go into detail about the things that I've gone through, the things that I've witnessed, the things that I've gone through when it comes to dealing with God, our Creator, things that I've learned, and I'm looking forward to that day. I'm looking forward to that moment when I can really look around at my surroundings and I can know and what I've made it through. I can look around at my surroundings and see that I'm out, that God saw me through. Because right now, with everything that's going on and not going on in my life, I feel like the only one that can get me through is God. I need a miracle. I need something life-changing to happen. It's as simple as that. And a lot of times, just I guess it's a human thing. The way we think, our minds can just, by default, think negatively. Think about the worst possible outcome. We're not really wired to think about things turning out alright and things being okay. And I'm really curious about why that is. Maybe it's just the world that we live in. That there's just a lot of stuff going on that's scary and there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of disappointment. But I guess that's why it's called faith. And that's why it's called hope for something better. It's like one of those weird things where it's like, oh, of course, have faith, have hope, yes, but when real life is happening around you and you're constantly let down, I'm gonna be real, it's not the easiest thing to do, right? It should be. It sounds great on paper. Have faith, have hope, be positive, be happy. Yeah. But no, it's scary. It can be scary. And I know uncertainty is reality. I've said that myself. I read it in a book once. It's true. It is reality. But I want to really talk about the fact that even though something is reality, it doesn't take away the reality of the emotion and the feeling that comes from that reality. And I feel like a lot of times we kind of brush over those things. We kind of, we don't sit down and really talk about it. We don't really acknowledge the fact that, hey, having faith is hard. Hey, I'm hurting. Hey, this is not easy. Of course, I don't know how we got here, but we operate on the surface level. Even family, the ones who you're supposed to be closest with, it's surface level. More often than not, You don't really take the time to really check in truly. And, even if you do, a lot of times people are closed off and they don't want to open up. I feel like the world is the way it is because of the fact that there's a better world out there for us. There's a new life that we can obtain. This is all temporary, and there's something on the other side that's our reward, and life can be good, but it's a struggle, and this reality within itself, it's thick, it's heavy, this flesh, time within itself, days can sometimes feel like weeks can sometimes feel like months when you're not enjoying life. It can be really, really heavy, can be really hard, and I feel like things could be different. I know that things could be different. The older that I get, I really start to, I just look at the way that the world is set up. And there's a lot of things that I don't know too much about. Honestly, I'm just not that interested in. For one, politics. I know that it's very important, but in my mind, things should be more simple. There's a lot of things that we participate in, that we partake in, that is just dumb to me, if I'm being honest. For one, just an example, gangs. I don't get gangs. I don't get it. And yeah, politics is another thing, but I just feel like it should be simple. There's so many of us here. The fact that capitalism is a thing and that there's people out there with all this money, then you have people who are starving. Money. It's money. Even right now, because of the world that I live in, I need money. I have a baby coming. I don't have a place. I need money. I don't have a place to stay. I'm in debt. I don't have a car. My car broke down. I've been trying to get a job along with thousands of people across America. Just for whatever reason, can't manage to get one. A company that I literally had a foot in the door with ghosted me. I worked with them before I even graduated college. Was still connected to the co-founders. I messaged them. They told me to email this other guy. I was back and forth with him. He told me that the position I applied for was filled, yet he still wanted me to, go for the videographer role that was open. They gave me a prompt, told me to create a reel, to choose any brand of my choice. Did that, went above and beyond, created a deck to go with it. Bunch of marketing schemes and research. Ghosted me. Applied to, at this point, I'm sure, over 1,000 jobs. I mean, what can I do? I'm trying to be creative, do what God has called me to do. Nothing has come of that. Yeah, the older I get, I really start to realize how tough life can really be. When you're a kid, you have that luxury where you don't think about these things because you don't have to deal with it. I mean, hey, you're just a kid. And it just sucks. This whole system, the way that the world is structured, the way that the world is functioning, I just hate it. I hate it. I wish that we could just live in a world that's full, that's rooted in, that's based on humanity. The truly, what's the best thing for humanity's sake? What's the best way that we can create a world that benefits humanity? How can we do that? But I do have faith, not only when it comes to my personal life and things kind of turning around for myself and my family, but I have faith in the world. I have faith in the fact that I have faith in people. I have faith in the good in people. I know that there's good in people. I know that. Even if it may not seem like it, if it's not on the surface, if it's not the thing that, is being expressed and displayed on a day-to-day, I know that somewhere deeper than everyone, there's this goodness. I don't know how, and I don't know when. The same thing when it comes to my life, and I guess that's why we have faith. Walking by faith, not by sight. Of course, you can't see into the future. You don't know how it's going to happen. You don't know when it's going to happen. But even still, you have faith. And that's where I am right now in my life. When I look at the world, that's where I am. And it's just a matter of time to see how things unfold. There's a lot that's not in our control. Really, I would argue to say almost everything is not in our control. I mean, we didn't even ask to be alive, even though it is a gift. We didn't ask to be born. We're just here. We have to make the most of it while we're here. And we can only control what we can control. And that's all that we can do. I always say it. I can only do what I can do. Everything else, gotta let it go and allow God to be who He says He is. And that's where I am. At this point in my life, I'm trying to see, God, who are you? I know who you are. I've read about who you are. I've had encounters with you here and there. I know who you are from what I know. But I want to see you work in my life. That's where I am. All right. I'm excited to meet my baby. Life is beautiful and life is a miracle. But at the same time, life can be very hard. And learning to walk by faith is another hard thing. But anything is possible, especially through Christ. I mean, He was the perfect example of that. So, here I am, day by day, attempting to have perfect faith. Here we go.